Hello, hi, my name is Wamba. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. Um, my God, I'm out of breath because I was braiding these two pigtails. I actually made a first video. I didn't like how that one came out. My inverter was charging, so it kept on making a lot of noise. Otherwise, I really wanted to also just show you my braiding skills. These cornrows are not perfect. I braided them so that they could just put my hair, like, how can I put it, like, I braided them so that I could look tidy, in the sense that I want to go to the salon and get some braids that are not looking nice. So yeah, but the first video I was trying to explain how how you were getting less salary wise. Even when you have a business, you're not getting like a lot of money, then all of a sudden you start getting huge money. But before I go any further, this video is not financial advice. I'm only sharing my experience and what my thoughts and views are. If you want financial advice, there are people who are qualified to guide you on that journey. So here I'm only sharing my experience and what I have been able to do. I used to get uh, like a 2,800. That's how much money I used to get back then. And then I started earning slightly higher than that. I was just wondering how I would manage that small amount of money. Like, I would manage to pay rent, I would buy food, and also just sustain myself. And also, let me mention the 2,800 was just my basic salary, what I used to get from the salon at the end of the month. And also, I was lucky, or the salon where I worked at had a policy where they were not restrictive in terms of tips. So you'd find that when a client loves what you've done, the services you've given them, they would, out of their own willingness. It wasn't mandatory that every time a client has their hair they have to give out a tip. It was out of their own will. So you would find that they would leave tips, they would give us my tips. So for me, those tips really helped. Like, there was one time I saved up my tip money, and then I made about close to 3,000. That's how much I made. I wasn't touching. If someone gives me 100 kwacha, I would put it a 50 kwacha. Maybe they feel very generous, they would give you a 200 kwacha. So I kept that money, and then I was like, this is how much we make per month. So that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is that how was I able to manage a 2,800 but failed to manage this new amount which I had, which was slightly higher than the 2,800. Um, in my first year of being at a new job, getting new money, I noticed that I wasn't managing my finances properly. I would overspend, and overspending, you get your salary, but you don't know it's going to. But you've done the spending. Let's say you've paid rent, you bought food, you've given the people you're supposed to give, but you barely have enough even for saving. So I just had to have an honest conversation with myself. I was like, girl, how were you managing the 2,800 plus meaning the tips, plus the side hustle that I was getting? So when I had when I just had like an honest conversation with myself, I noticed that I'm spending way more than I needed. I just sat down, wrote down my major expenses, which are still rent, food, transportation. The reason transportation is there, it wasn't there when I was earning 2,800, in the sense that the tip money would cover that, and then I didn't live very far from the salon. Sometimes if I don't have transport money, or I feel very energetic, I would walk to and from work. But I work on the opposite side now. I have to get on two buses. So yeah, that's a different story. So I had to sit down and make a budget. I was like, rent, food, transportation, and savings. The habit of saving started when I was earning less, but seriousness wasn't there. And after I started earning slightly more, that's when now I started implementing the savings part. I was just like, I really need to save for rainy days. And then also watching videos on YouTube, like savings videos. I love, I still do, I love watching. There's this Kenyan content creator, Coach Sue, and also what's the other one? The other one is Bola Shukumbi, Clever Girl Finance. I hope I'm not uh, butchering the names. So those are Coach Susan is Kenyan, right? She's African from Kenya. So some of the things you could relate. Bola's Clever Girl, you can just learn from whatever they're teaching. So for me, those two YouTube channels have really helped, plus the many others that I watch. And trust me, I watch a lot of financial videos. I digress. Let me go back to yeah. So I managed to put my monies in orders, and then the rest of the money that I used to remain with, that's now what I would use if there's financial need which is outside my house. Outside my house meaning there's someone needs financial assistance outside, you know what I mean? If you're in Africa, you know these things. So yeah, but it was hard. It was really hard. I would go to a shopping market or a supermarket and just go and buy food, just buy things I didn't need, because in my head I'm telling myself I have more money, the money is there. I would, my goodness, I would even buy myself things that I did not need because money was there. Having an honest conversation with myself was me telling myself, what do you want to see in the next 5 years financially? Where do you want to be in the next 10 years financially? What do you want to do? What are some of the things you want to look back on in the next 5-10 years financially, to say, oh, what did I achieve? Did I invest? Did I build? Did I buy an asset? Am I building a financial portfolio for myself? Am I building generational wealth for my son and my other children to come? So after I had that conversation, I was just like, oh my goodness, I really need to stop overspending. I do not have a lot. And then the thing with what is this called, lifestyle creep, is that you don't know it. If you were buying four packets of different food stuff, once you start earning more, you start buying 10, and you won't even know why you're buying 10, forgetting that you used to manage on 5. I'm not saying you need to be greedy with your finances in the sense that you do not have to live life, you do not have to buy your things, better things. I'm just saying you should learn to manage your finances, because I did. After changing jobs, I was able to get myself a few things that I wasn't able to get when I was earning less. I was able to do short courses to pay for them. I'm actually doing some right now online. I was able to buy myself shoes that I used to tell myself, oh my god, these shoes are expensive. I was able to buy myself those shoes. So just learning to manage your finances from a small amount, when you transition to a bigger amount, know how you're spending, but don't again leave so much on the lesser side. In Zambia they say it's not financial discipline, it's akaso and bembaso. Castle in Nyanja, if you can say it, like you're just being greedy, you're stinging yourself, because there's no way you can have a 2,000, 3,000 and you need something and then you don't want to spend it. You have to spend, but no, spend, we're not refusing. Spending wisely is what we're talking about. And the transition was hard. When I say it was hard. You know, the first, I think the first 3 4 months, the amount, my salary hits the account, like, and I'm like, is this my money? It's my money. Like, what can I do with this money? I paid rent, I bought food, I have extra. I don't have a lot of financial responsibility. Spend it. Check out. Started eating. I'd be like, I don't want to cook today. I don't feel like cooking. Buy food. I'm not saying don't order food. It's just when you're not doing the right thing, it's not nice. I didn't say don't buy yourself, KFC. If you love KFC, Nando's, Hungry Lion, whatever you like, buy. But when buying, know that it should be from a place where you're not stealing from yourself. It's because you're like, okay, I can buy myself takeaway because I have extra. So for me, it wasn't like that. It was just like, okay, let's buy, let's spend. What's there? There's a new pair of shoes that's out. I want to buy it, you buy it. But then when you look back at the end of the month, you're just waiting to get paid. So I didn't want to continue with that. I was just like, I need to have order. I need to have focus. So having that honest conversation with myself about my financial goals, what I want to see, the difference I need to make. So when I had that honest conversation with myself, I was really, really, really happy with how my financial life is looking. And then also, most times when I braid hair, I love to ask different women how they are managing their finances, be it as a family, as a couple, as an individual. So there's this one lady who taught me about fixed savings. The way she explained it to me, oh my God, she's so, like, I was sold, I was taken. She explained how she manages to finance her kids' school fees, how she's saving for a vehicle, how she managed to save for her roofing sheet for the house, and how how she's able to manage whatever amount of money that passes through her hands. So after learning that also, I was just like, this is what I want, might not be exactly, but this is the road I need to go to. Because I feel like my ways via personalized Mwamba is that I do not want my child or my children to feel like they're living in survival mode. I would want my children to have everything they need. Their wants, they will do it themselves. But everything they need, I want when it's time for them to go to college, there's something there for them. I want when it's time maybe for holidays, there's something for us as a family to go on holiday with. So I think that was the best decision I ever made, to manage my finances. Am I stingy? No, I'm not stingy, because even in the making of my budget, I am able to allocate a certain amount for giving, for emergencies, for unforeseen circumstances. An African setup, whether you like it or not, you would have to help out family somewhere, directly or indirectly. So yeah, that also how's it been? It's been great. It's the best financial decision. Managing my finances while I was just starting in this new career of mine has been the best decision ever. Because trust me, I would have just been living paycheck to paycheck. Paycheck to paycheck. I would have just been like, I'll get paid next month. Let me spend this money. YOLO, you only live once. Am I saying stinge yourself? No, no, no. Am I saying don't buy yourself nice things? No, there are nice things that I bought myself. A lot of nice things in my house. When I look at them, I'm just like, I did that. I bought that. You know what I mean? And it's because I had an honest conversation with self, and I know it's really hard for you to transition from low amount to a high amount. Like, how do you manage these two? So yeah, I've really been proud of how far I have come, and I know that if I maintain and continue on this route, even when the unfortunate the unfortunate financial happens, at least I'm going to be operating from a space where I'm not lacking. I did not steal from myself. I did not, I do not have to get into loans to sustain the emergencies because in my quest of asking people how they've managed, some would share part of their stories, not everything. Some would be like, when I was starting my career, I thought this was the cool thing to do. So I ended up getting money. I paid for it. By the time I realized, it was too late. So if you're also changing jobs, or if you've changed jobs, if you're earning more than you used to, how are you managing your finances? Are you still living in the, oh, I'm earning more so I can spend a lot? Oh no, money is still going to come. Are you adjusting? Are you planning on adjusting? So I have adjusted a lot, and it's been the best decision ever. I think I would do like a life audit, financial audit, I think at the end of this year by God's grace. I'm just going to be like, how much did I save? How much do I have? You know, like what do I need to invest this money in? Or what do I need to reinvest this money in? I think this is the next, these are some of the next conversation I'm supposed to be having. So yeah, I just came here to share that. Please note, it is not financial advice. I am only sharing what I have experienced, what I have been through, what I've learned, what I'm learning, what I'm yet to learn, because we're ever learning every day. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.